Fantastic.
Maybe they want to postpone me.
I don't.
They don't have that urge to make it happen. But the content has to come to you, and you are the best people, so as we can just give you the content of today, and we're going to be coming to you live, and it's one-on-one from this platform. Introduce yourself.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back. It's your boy here, Mogesi, in any channel, guys. You're going to check me out. If you haven't reached to me, take me to Road to Success.
Road to Success, exactly.
Exactly, guys. Today is today.
Limit is the sky.
Tomorrow is another day.
Coming to
The
you
sky
live.
is
The limit.
fantastic.
And God doesn't wear what?
Shorts.
Shorts. Fantastic.
And
Always,
God doesn't entertain with such kind of the nonsense interrogation.
that is prevailing.
Exactly.
It's fantastic.
Is like previous or what?
Previously.
No.
Pre?
When you trying to intimidate to God.
Oh, you know, God doesn't smoke. You know that?
God is everywhere.
God is intimidations, everything.
Slave and
also right now they're introducing something called capture recapture
exactly.
Capture.
method. You know what? I intimidate you, you intimidate me. You be recaptured, I be captured.
Exactly.
Capture, recapture is what is now coming after the man-eat-man society, which is now the biggest scandal and the scamming that we are having here in Nyabohanse. And whenever I develop to tell the government, hey, the Kenya government, why can't you surrender yourself? Why can't you help the people who are in need, the villagers who are supporting you, who are encloned with you? The only thing we were told, we have CCTV cameras at this government. We have security which is very tight. I have a father who is now the head of the commander, always working with a machete and everything, all the weapons to make sure that there's no one.
Control the police custody.
Exactly, making sure that is the controller.
Their people.
And they have one other person who is the Kenya driver, who is now in terms of procurement, making sure that is the one talking about this should be given, this should not be given. Whenever anything comes like a prize, this one, no, this one is above the level. This is not ours. This is ours. Let's give this to this, but it was meant for this. Manipulation. So this kind of a government, we want to make sure that we are entitling them to some of the themes that they have to follow.
Exactly.
And make sure that people are governed in a hospitalian way and also care for your people. Talking about the government, imagine now a government, a shipment comes to this kind of a government. Talking about, you know what? This government, I want to do something. I want to bring, because that village lack water and it has a river, but I don't think if that river is safe for them because it's traveling so far, we cannot be safe with it. The government say that no, if they're using that river, even the cows are going there, let us buy cows, let's buy horses and pollute the environment, make sure that whenever it rains, water is drawn onto the river and nothing do happen.
Exactly.
The same way, let's buy the solar system. We don't have to dig some holes at anyone's, you know, as a developing factor. Let's do what? Let's make this kind of a solar and we shall invite or sell water outside because we will be having clean water as we will drill our own borehole here and make sure that people are buying water. A business opportunity, which is not relevant to us. Everybody now is more enlightened, not that we can be controlled the way you need. And that's why we went forward talking about Kenya government must go. This is the real verdict about it.
And it's coming.
The government is corrupt. The government is using people to recapture. The government is using corruption to intimidate the young people who want to have independence, and it's the same way of the colonialism. I talked about whenever the Britons came to Kenya, they used indirect rule. They assigned a chief who will be patrolling this area, but sending information to the chief deputy, talking about, you know what, I'm representing this. And from that position, they talked about, no, if this one is not working, let's now introduce a direct rule. Now, the same government coming in So right now, they're now subjecting their legs in direct rule. So it was like I was using Pablo K.E., I was using Minhawi, I was using talk about Cloud Joseph, I was using Gake, I was using Gunmo, I was using Kibe. By now, I don't need them.
Yeah.
Now they are now they're not qualified for it, or they are now sympathizing with the people to be the subjects. Now they want to insert their direct rule, which is the government now inserting its own hands or the legs, all of them now coming in, which is the Kenge family coming now as the people to intrude and make sure that all the people are being disgusted and intimidated. Now that's called the direct rule to Nyabohanse YouTubers.
Exactly.
Yeah, sure.
Keep it tuned. Keep it locked. We're going to be giving you much of the responses about this kind of a government that is a narcissist government, that is a tribalist government, and also not a sympathizing, which is demolishing, not only taking, they can even scam a living dead.
Imagine. That is my friend.
And we have ever talked about it. Today or tomorrow but one, I'll come with a segment. I'm going to have Pablo. He was one of the defense forces in that government.
Yeah,
sure.
And I'm going to bring him onto the system to tell us in terms of procurement or the revenue authority, how it was, and also tell us the system on security, how it has been leached, and why is it now terminated, and the government is having their own government people who are not qualified to come and intimidate us outside there with machete.
Exactly.
The point to be driven home as the way it is. Keep it tuned, keep it locked. It's underscore Gento, the narrator.
Fantastic. The big lion.
The big lion.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And also, it's a Nestor over here, guys.
Exactly. Keep it tuned, keep it locked. Next time, next point, next session, next view, next venue.
Exactly.
We are going to be here every time, every session, whenever it reaches. This is our time to revive. This is our time to make sure that everything that is not ongoing well, we shall rectify.
Tomorrow
not,
is
not
to
being
reveal the
intimidated.
history.
Tomorrow is history. We are now coming with the history and the government procedures to make sure that everyone is pinpointed. Keep
And
it
everyone
tuned.
is equal.
Fantastic. Guys,
And guys, actually, we were still waiting for this moment so that, the other time the king managed to speak about he is just going to come back into the village and he is able to strike all the reaction channels. And the little fact is this one. And there is two categories of this kind of reaction. You have the reality and we have the reaction. To be sincere, is Kenge we are just still waiting him, because in given moment he's just going to come into the village, and we are just waiting for the moment. And the reason being why we stopped the 96% out of 100% is because we are just waiting for that moment. So for him to be in the village, to make sure that we are just broadcasting the real thing that is live one-on-one, so that for him the other time that he was just outside at Argentina, he was just speaking his shenanigans, don't know what, telenovela and anything, making some of intimidation, thinking that much of the some of us, we are just fear him. The little thing is we are just waiting for that moment, and we are just going to deal with him perpendicularly per unit square. It is time, and it is time, because remember, right now he has left alone. He has chased much of his government. Is it dissolved? How can we put this kind of is it the solve of the government or what? And I think now he is just going to arrange to make sure that the machete man, he will be the commander still, and Goodmo, he will be the goon, and we have the Kenge driver. He'll be the is it misuser or the user? The Kenge driver will be like a memory card, or is it the CD card? How do you, because here into the village we do say that it is a memory card, you know the memory card. So the Kenge driver will be a memory card. Firstborn of Kenge will be like a music. I don't know how he's just now going to arrange the government to make sure that everything will be more fantastic. But the real thing is we are just going to watch him perpendicularly per unit square. In any step, in any attempt, we will be able with him, and no any attempt. The way he was just thinking, the way he was just preparing to make sure that he will be coming with some of the issue that will just benefiting him while tarnishing the villagers into downfall, it is just not going to happen. I'm just saying sorry for him for that, because it's time and we have to move on. No much of hesitations, no much of shaking, no much of intimidations to the villagers. It was being happening much. Things were just being happen. Much of the people were just being exploited, misused. I don't know, even underrations. Talking about they are just going to use their, I don't know who, police, I don't know what. We start from long, guys, and the real things, it has been we're gonna say that we're gonna also congratulate ourselves, because the moment that we took the positions that we have to move forward, that we have to focus into our village, no more like those Kenges things that is just going to happening. See, the generation is just moving on. See, the generations is just upcoming. Still, the generation is appreciated into the work that we have just performed. Why am I just talking about that? We're having a team of the kids, and we're having a team of the kids that we do meet with them. Even if we don't meet with them on the camera, we do meet with them off the camera to make sure that we are just sharing 1, 2, 3 things to make sure that they are avoiding such kind of the character, such kind of the behavior, such kind of the engaged of intimidation that they cannot benefit them. The one that is just going to demolish them. And it has happened, and the way we are just seeing, it is just moving successfully. We are waiting for the moment, because any minute, any time, any day, Kenge is just going to be in the village, and we are just waiting for the moment he was just being spoken about. He will be coming with the lawyers. I don't know what, so that he can sue people. It is the real fact, and we are just waiting for that moment. And if not yet, it's your time, and your government, it has to dissolve, and you have to live. You have to give us the way to pass. Because let me talk about this, guys. We have much of the people who do see that they are the celebrity, and when their times goes, they do end up, so that the other generations, they has to come, the other focused generations who can put things into considerations, they have to move forward. It is the same, and the Kenge must go, and the Kenge fraternity must go. It has been long where much of the people were being fooled outside there, and for the people who were being smart, it has been like chaotic. For the people who were being fooled, scammed, and other things. But for the people who are being smart, it is an implement to make sure that they are just understanding, they are just following what is the reality, what is just taking place, and kudos and continue with these varied facts. Let's move to the next part, that do supply or do walk outside into the village to make sure that they are just supplying the witches. And this is the real fact. Why should we just talk about hyena and these kind of the opulent of the people? It has been stored at there is some sugar cane here. Can take a look, guys. I don't know if it will be just up here. There is some sugar cane there. Those are the place where hyena it has been stored from. And the little things is it has been happening, and much of the people, they have just been crying about them, because much of the people, you know, into the village, they do, their toilet is just outside also, you see. So you cannot tell that Mogesi has had the backing of the hyena, then he will just move out. Oh, my friend, you're gonna be heated. Another thing is this one. Those hyenas are the things that are just supplying the witches. You see? Are the things that they are just supplying the witches. There is different witches into the village. The other time Kenge came out, well, he was talking about his shenanigans, all useless things, talking about, oh, those boys who are just trying to reveal the reality about me, I'm sure they are going to suffer. It has happened 3 accidents. It has happened to Mogesi, it has happened to Masubo 1, it has happened to Max 1 also. You see? Why? For me to speak this, you know, this kind of the issue of the witches, it has transferred from the Kisi people, because it believes that Kisi people are very tough, in terms of supplying those kind of the things. Let me confirm here one thing. These are things that I'm just so guys, it has believed that the Kisi people are the one that they have just it is like giving out the specialization. Is it specialization of the witches? Let me talk about I don't know this kind of the fraternity of the Machete man, where it has just come from. I think they have just come from Kisi people. And for me, I remember, guys, much of the Kisi people, they were being burnt, they were being killed. And this is the time you find much of the Kisii people who were the suspect of the witches, they were scared and transferred themselves into our village. When we will just walk into our village, most of them, they are just coming from our village. It has happened that much of the kids are just being thrown. Some of there is these I don't know how can I call it, these shenanigans things, to make sure that they are just punishing the life of the young babies into the village. Women's mothers, they have just crying a lot. And it's just going to happen this way, guys. And it's just going to happen this way. As from now, we are just going to see the arrangement on how we can just speak with the grand elder, all the readers of the community, to make sure that we are just coming with one point, that we should just going to destroy the witches. Assure me that if it will be successful, guys, it will be best for everyone into the village, because you cannot tell me that most of the people, they are just crying about witches, and it's just still ongoing, and it's just there, and it's just being still promoted. You're gonna find that kids, let me talk about the schooling. Kids in one from in that just come from a certain fraternity, he or she has been sent with his parent to go and maybe supplying the witches there, all shenanigans to disturb other kids. It has happened. Much of the kids were being possessed in school, and it do talk, or it do come that it has just come from this family, or these. Why can't we come out? If you are watching, guys, if you are watching and you know that you are just coming from the village, please stop this kind of the issue. And this one is just promote into jealousy also. Jealousy is a witch. And this is the little fact. And for me to speak about jealousy is a witch is about what is just ongoing. You're gonna find a person is jealous on you. She don't want any prosperity in you or in your fraternity. You're gonna find even your mother is just witching you. This is the real fact. Your uncle, your dad, your brother, your sister. You see? I don't know, sometimes I'm just sympathize with this kind of the issue, and how it's just going to be end, and it has become like it was a class. Even I'm just sympathize that the villagers who are not to be engaged into the witch, they have just engaged into the witch to make sure that they are just turning other people down. Let's come clear, guys.